drawing up a will. The will is the most important document that you will draw as being the last document in your life. A will is a written document giving instructions for the distribution of your assets upon your death. The will must follow the provisions of the Wills Act, and therefore it is regarded as a legal document. Matters to consider when drawing up a will: it's important for you to establish or write down your marital status. In other words, are you married? Are you single? And if you are married, are you married in community of property, or are you married by an antenuptial contract? Whether there's an accrual system that will apply, is it with or without the accrual system? So those facts needed to be clearly stated in your will. Aside, you have to make a list of your assets and your liabilities. Your assets is what you own, and your liabilities is what you owe. It's important to realize that at the time of your death, your liabilities need to be settled for your assets to be passed on to your beneficiaries. It's also important to make a list of your insurance and investments, and who are the beneficiaries who are nominated in terms of your insurance policies. There must be sufficient cash to pay the liabilities and the expenses in your estate. If not, the estate will never be wound up and the assets will never get passed on to your beneficiaries. It's important that there be sufficient capital to meet the monthly lifestyle expenses of your family going forward. Remember that you assuming that you are the breadwinner of the house, then your salary was used to meet the monthly expenses for your family. Now that you're no longer there, there should be capital which then gets invested to provide for the monthly lifestyle expenses of your family. If there are minor children who are under the age of 18, it's important to realize that a will trust will have to be set up. That is a trust within your will, and it is also known as a testamentary trust. In the event of a simultaneous death, it's important to realize that minor children you need to appoint a guardian. So within your will, you need to create a situation where, in the event of a simultaneous death, exactly what would happen. Now, with COVID, within our own offices, we've experienced many people who died, both husband and wife passed on, and there were minor children involved. And such a clause was not included in the will, and it did create an issue. It's also important to understand that there will be tax payable upon death, and the two important taxes that you have upon your death would be estate duty and capital gains tax, and you need to provide for these taxes. However, there are many estate planning techniques to avoid these taxes. One of the ways of doing it is by passing over or rolling over your entire estate to your surviving spouse, and in that way you get a deduction in your estate and no estate duty is payable. So these are some of the important considerations that you should take to account when drawing up your will. Garach Corporation are advisors in the financial and fiduciary sector. We have within one office chartered accountants, legal advisors, tax consultants, certified financial planners. The group comprises entities which are registered as authorized financial service providers. We have offices both in Durban as well as in Johannesburg. Our service offering includes tax, insurance, investments, wills, trusts, estates, and accounting.